Hey, we're live on Devil's Lake, fishing big perch. Join me live in a minute. All right, here's the setup. Oh, we got one on the screen right now. If you can look on the live scope right here. We're fishing with Bry's Guide Service. Pop him up. I'm with Garrett. Got a perch working us right now. 24 feet of water. I'm fishing a perch talker. There we go. A little bit of interest. Oh, he's thinking about it. So if you can see on that live scope screen, right to the right of me there. Oh, there he's coming up for it. So anyway, 1/8 ounce perch talker, minnow head is what we are using right now. There he's coming for Garrett's right there. See if you can seal the deal or not. So what we've done today is we have done walleye in the morning at sunrise, which was really good. We got a whole pail full of walleye right here. I'll show you those. Good sunrise bite for the walleye. And now we have moved out for perch. There's coming a little harder. I will tell you, this perch bite it's a little bit different than it was a couple years ago. I remember back in the day we were doing a lot of chasing perch and bouncing around and stuff like that. What we're doing right now is it's a little bit more of a waiting game. So basically what we're doing is we're sitting on some old structure in the old lake basin. And if you're familiar with Devil's Lake, you know that on the hummingbirds and different sonars, you can get those base maps from the old basin. Basically we're on a road bed right now. And basically we're just sitting here waiting it out, and schools of these perch will just come by every once in a while, and we're picking off these big jumbos like this. I'll show you this perch one more time. Just like that. Big Devil's Lake perch. Like I said before, I am with Bry's Guide Service today with Garrett. Mark Bry's the owner of that, and Mark, he owns Ed's Bait Shop too, right?
Yep.
We'll see if we get another school to come through. If anybody has any questions or comments, go ahead and throw them down on the bottom there, and I'll answer what I can. I also have a few perch talkers to give away, so if anybody would like to try some perch talkers or maybe even some walleye talkers, I'll pick, I don't know, 5 guys, and I will send you some perch and walleye talkers. I'll pick you right out of the comments, so just go ahead and throw your comments there, and we'll get some lures out to you. This is my first time on Devil's Lake this year as well. So the sunrise walleye bite we were on, it's a lot of structure fishing right now is what it is. What was that, a brush pile or something we were on earlier, I think, right? Yep. And we were picking them off there at sunrise. Then as the sun came up, that bite kind of shut off a little bit, so now we're out here chasing these perch around. And how we're doing it is basically we're sitting in a spot for a few hours, letting them come through, and then we'll move to a different spot along this road bed, pick a few more off. It's a little bit different than that traditional Devil's Lake perch bite that you might remember from the past, where there was a lot of moving around. It's kind of more sit and wait for the schools right now. So the 2 baits I'm going to use for this is I'm going to be either using the perch talker or I'm going to be using a smaller rattling flyer. Would be my 2 go-tos for what we're doing today. And I'll tell you what, that wind is coming up, and it sure is nice sitting in the snow bear. Once again, I'm going to pop that up. Bry's Guide Service, Mark Bry. Give him a call if you'd like to check out one of these snow bear trips. Brian Dahl, if you're on there, put on a comment. We did give a snow bear trip away to Brian Dahl a few years ago, and he came out with Mark. I think Mark has, what'd you say, 9 snow bears or something like that he's got going now? Yep, 9. Yeah, we got a few more right behind, 3 more right behind us right there, actually. I know Brian had a great time out here. Brett McComas, what do you know? How you doing, Brett? And I tell you what, I'm happy to be in a snow bear today because that wind, every time I go outside, I swear to God, that wind is another 5 miles an hour. So I'm not looking forward to the ride home. Got the comments rolling in now. Yes, Drew, I am jigging the perch talker is what I'm doing. So when we developed this perch talker, we got the walleye talker and the perch talker. And so the beads, I'll show you the bait actually. The beads on this, there's beads and discs, right? So the beads and discs, I'm gonna use the word clank together when they're down there, and they make sound, which calls in those perch. And in our testing, the walleye talker is much bigger, perch talker is a little smaller. And in our testing, we found out the correct combination of beads and discs to call in these perch. Hopefully we can get another school to roll through here for us. All right, where would you target walleyes in a featureless reservoir? Start shallow or deep? I would go shallow in the morning and evening, and I would go deep during the day. We'll be up at Lake Winnipeg in a few weeks, and that's a prime example. That whole southern basin there, that's a good example of fishing in a featureless basin. There is some structure that we've been finding near the mouth of the river and some other little structure spots, but a lot of that Lake Winnipeg stuff is a featureless basin. Also, Lake of the Woods and the Mud is featureless. So really all you can do there is you're looking for these pods of fish that are obviously feeding on something in that area, whether they're feeding on some type of larva or nymph that's hatching in the mud, or there's some minnows or something going on there. But as a rule, especially on Lake Winnipeg and even Lake of the Woods, I will definitely start shallow. When I say shallow, it depends on the lake, but you could maybe say 8 to 12 feet in the morning. Then during the day, I'm going to move out into that 25 feet, something like that. And that is a good way to approach any featureless basin. But, you know, it's big moves to find fish, small moves once you find the fish, especially on Lake Winnipeg. I mean, when I'm out there, I'm going to do giant mile-long moves until I start finding fish. And then once I find fish, I'm going to make smaller moves in that certain area to get on the fish. And that is a technique that's been working on Lake Winnipeg for a long, long time. Ah, there's Brian Dahl. Hey, Brian, how was your snow bear trip? Tell us about it, would you? I know that he enjoyed it, I heard. Russell, here's one for Garrett. Can you take a group of 5 in a snow bear? How many can you fit in this, or would you fit in this?
We'll take groups up to 4. Anything more than that, then we'll have an additional snow bear.
There you go. So 4 max in a snow bear. And it would be 4. I mean, it's probably a little bit crowded in here with 4. That's about all you'd want in here, I think. And Russell, I'll pop that up again so you can see it, but just, you know, send Mark a message or call him and he can explain all that to you and what he can do for a group of 5. Jordan Gunnifson. Mr. Isa is on here again. How you doing, Jordan? We were just talking about you actually, Jordan, sight fishing walleyes, and we're going to need a guy with a saw, so keep your phone on. So like I said before, throw some comments down there. I'll throw, I don't know, 5 of you guys some perch or walleye talkers, depending on what you like to fish. Hoping to get a school through here anyway. Seems like, I don't know, half an hour to an hour we'll get a nice school of perch, pick off a few. Nope, Jordan's in on the ice saw deal. Perfect. I knew you'd be in, Jordan. All right, Travis, what rod length and action are you using? So as far as rod length right here, I wonder if Mark's not on here, the guy that builds the rods, but 36-inch rod, which is the perfect length for what I'm doing here. I know a lot of snow bear guys will go with a little shorter rod, you know, like a 30-inch, 28-inch, something like that. I do prefer a longer rod just to keep the fish pinned. This rod right here that you're seeing is Radcliffe Custom Rods. Mark and Eric out of Wisconsin. I'll pop up their info right there. Those are the guys you want to talk to. So what they're doing is they're building custom one-off rods. So whatever you want, I don't care what color, what grip, what action. You want a fast tip, slow tip. I mean, whatever you want to do, they will do. Especially with this, you'll see, I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you look at my rod, you can see there's a slight bend in that tip so I can sense the up bites. It really is important to have the correct rod for the bait you're fishing, especially with perch, crappie, or bluegill, because you get a lot of those up bites and you need something super sensitive that you can feel those with. Here's a question for you, Garrett. What did he say there? Do you do pike trips at all?
We don't do much for the pike stuff. You know, I think the pike numbers are actually starting to look fairly decent out here. So if anybody's out here trying to do their own thing, it's definitely possible. I don't know. Corey Longnecker was one that was doing some stuff. I don't know how much he's really doing anymore. He'd be somebody to look into.
But if they called Mark, he could probably send him in the right direction, I imagine.
He'd have an idea on that.
Okay, sweet.
Like I know we've used Corey in the past. He's kind of been our go-to pike guy. I'm not sure how much he's doing anymore.
I do know there is a ton of spearing has become a thing out here too, I think. There's been a lot of guys spearing.
Yeah, and Corey was big on that too. But with the clear water this year, if somebody's out here trying to do something on their own, you know, I think it's a good year to try it.
Yeah, very clear water out here. He's correct on that. I don't know how far that clarity is. I can see way down there though. It's very clear. All right, what else we got here? Yeah, that's what Tim was asking about with spearing for pike specifically, so yeah. Jordan, this would be a good time for you to chime in. You probably know all about that spearing pike on Devil's Lake thing. I'm pretty sure. I know his brother Jared has been out here spearing them. I don't know if Jordan has, though. There you go. Brett McComas has got a guy for you. Check out that comment there. And there is the testimonial from Brian Dahl right there. Bry's Guide Service goes above and beyond. And I will agree with that. And there's the custom rod guy, Mark. So Mark, you can see Mark's comment there. If you're looking for a rod, still got that on the screen. That's them right there, Radcliffe Custom Rods. You want a custom one-off rod, give Mark a yell. He will build whatever you want to build. Actually, look at the handle on this. This is a carbon fiber grip on this one right here. Sky's the limit with those guys, though. Whatever you want, they'll do. Right now, Mark's at home shaking his head thinking, nah, whatever you want, Nate.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, not paying attention. He's coming forward hard. There, he's on it. Oh, I said it too fast. Ah!
Oh, he's gonna come back.
Wait, it ain't over. It's not over.
Come on.
Oof. Just lightly tapped it. Should have let him hold it for one more second, and I probably would have had him.
Oh, here you go.
There you go, coming again. Let him hold it for a second longer this time. Oof. It's going over to Garrett now. See the fish there? Garrett there, me there. See if you can seal the deal.
Come on.
And we do have a front coming in. We got snow, we got wind, so the fish are a little bit off today.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, so look at this right here.
Another one
Right
going
there, right there. These perch are absolutely hugging the bottom. Just glued to that bottom. See them right there. I'm just going to be real subtle with it, but fish, lure. Fish, perch talker, actually. See if I can get him to commit here. We've got two under us now, one under Garrett, one under me. I'd have bet money that one was just going to hammer it the way he came up like that. Just hanging out there. So this is only two fish. Before we had, well, I don't know how many was in that first school, like 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah, that first one was definitely the most charged up that we've had them. The other ones have been kind of like this. We've really had to work them.
Yeah. I'm just going to do this for the fun of it. I've got a tungsten toad right here. I'm going to switch from the perch talker to the tungsten toad. I'm going to put a little minnow head on it. We're going to drop that down real quick.
This one spikes.
Oh, do you have, well, yeah, there you go. Let's do that. We'll do spikes instead. All right, I'm going to get this one out of here. We'll drop this tungsten toad down. Okay, that right there, if you can see that guy. Oh, you got him under you again there.
I'll keep him busy.
Yeah, keep him there, would you? I'm going to load this up with a bunch of spikes. I know I said this in the last slide, but I do like these spikes more than waxworms because they're more dense and they stay on your hook a lot better. All right, I'll get this guy down there. A lot of good, oh, Eric's on there too. We got both the Radcliffe guys on there now. A lot of good info on pike spearing too, wow. That is something. I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna do a lot more pike spearing in the future, Jordan. Actually, the guys from, oh, there we go. The guys from Northern Spike invited me on a trip up to Cabotogama, and it was super fun. I've never been on a dedicated spearing trip like that, and it was super fun. Something everybody should try. Really fun. No, Aaron says they're going to eat this tungsten. All right, Aaron, see what happens. Oh, they're going to eat Garrett's though. Look at it right there. Oh, there he got it. Oh, there's got one right there. I'll have him hand it to me once he gets it up. All right, there's one right there. Not the big jumbo, but it's definitely a nice eating perch. So they're definitely preferring that minnow today. I guess I haven't had one come up and sniff this tungsten yet, so we'll see if we can get one to just come look at this tungsten and see how he reacts. And we do have those 2 hook sizes of the tungsten toad we came out with last year that are much larger. There's a lot of weird bites that go on. Lake Winnipeg's a prime example. Lake Winnipeg, super hot, a lot of big baits the beginning of the year, but what I found the last few years is once you get into March on Lake Winnipeg, you really need to downsize your stuff. We have the big hooks on the tungsten toads now, the smaller quiver spoons, the smaller rattle and flyer, stuff like that is a phenomenal bait on Lake Winnipeg to have alongside a rattle bait to call it in. One thing I am going to do a video on this year is it's the Booyah One Knocker, it's called, and it is a very loud, aggressive rattle bait that is phenomenal on Lake Winnipeg, and I will do some videos on that just to show you what that specific bait is, because it's fire up there, it really is, especially in January. Then as the year goes on into March on Lake Winnipeg, what I will do is I will use that rattle bait to call it in, and I will follow it up with something smaller, like a smaller quiver spoon or smaller rattle and flyer, maybe even a tungsten toad with the big hook on it, maybe. But that One Knocker, we got some poppin' colors, and it's loud and aggressive, and the fish really react to it well up on Lake Winnipeg. And it's a bait that is hardly ever used on Lake Winnipeg too, so it's something the fish don't see all the time. Dustin Munson, Hog Hunter Guide Service. Hog Hunter Guide Service right there if you guys are fishing in the Brainerd Lakes area. Give Dustin Munson a ring. Actually, you owe it to yourself to go to Dustin's Facebook page and look what he's doing. He posts a ridiculous amount of fish pictures. He's your guy in the Brainerd Lakes area. And the guy that I was with last video, if you're looking to do a crazy ice castle with like TVs everywhere and aqua views and Garmin's and all that kind of stuff, icefishminnesota.com, he's another great one to check out if you want to do the whole wheelhouse, skid house kind of thing there in Brainerd Lakes area. But those 2 guys, Dustin is a hammer. He's just go on his Facebook. That's all I need to say. Scroll a little bit. You'll see what he's got going on. Matt Mingus, another Radcliffe guys on. Oh, 4 hours and 55 minutes, Brett. Sounds good to me. We'll just, I'll send you a pin. Just meet me over there and jump in. You're welcome anytime, Brett.
There's one on my side coming.
All right, Garrett's got one coming. And look at how they're just, oh, he's coming up right away. So that might be a, oh. There, if you can see him, I have to do a pinch zoom to see that. We don't have the overlay on today. Is that a perch?
I think it's a nice one if it is one. Oh, another one coming
Oh,
here.
we got 2.
A little competition going. Get them fired up.
See, now I'm nervous about having the toad on. I've been catching him on that perch talker, so. Just looking at it. You can see him right there. See, that bottom one looks substantially bigger. So he's tipping up. They're both looking at it.
Oh. I thought one of them was going to do it there.
Yeah, Jesse, I am roughing it again. I have a feeling the next 10 videos, though, are not going to be this cush. Let me tell you. I think the next one I want to do is I have a trophy bluegill spot. Hopefully the service is good enough. I'd like to do the trophy bluegill thing. I'd like to do Lake Winnipeg. And I really, really stay tuned. Milwaukee, if you've never fished Milwaukee, I have to show you that. It's really something. They are just stacked under you there.
Same as before, though. They just don't really want to.
All right, so this doesn't make any noise. So I'm going to put that perch talker back down because they're looking at your minnow. And we're going to see if they will react to the noise this perch talker makes. Yeah, they are very finicky today, Ty. You're correct on that. See that one creeping?
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, he's engaging.
Both? You stole them both from me.
Look at that. Can I get him to commit though? So that was really cool. You can see that tungsten toad doesn't make any noise, and they weren't even looking at it. Switched over to the slightly larger perch talker that has a little noise to it, and they immediately came over to see what was going on. I think they get a little bit active, more active towards the end of the day too, the perch.
Yeah, usually before noon, and then maybe towards the later half of the day. One thing I kind of have seen this year, though, is that the spoons do seem like they've been out fishing more of the tungsten style stuff, which is kind of odd. Usually I'll say the opposite. But I've seen it a lot this year where just like what we just saw, where you drop a tungsten down there and they won't even look at it, and you drop a spoon down, and that's really the only thing I can get them to play with.
Interesting. All right, so he's right on me right now. If you guys, oh, no, got a little separation there still. That's a legit perch, I think. Now he's going to go over to Garrett's and check that out. Just looking at it. What else you guys got for me there?
Oh, you licked it.
Did he?
Maybe one more time. Come on.
Oh, he's right on it, right on it.
Oh. It just was going to start lifting up on him, and I felt him spit it back out.
Any color working better than the other colors out here, you think, Garrett?
You know what? I think your size and presentation is going to be better than the color. You know, out here, it's historically you can go with the golds, the pinks. Oh, didn't like that.
That was for you, Dustin. I pounded the bottom. You see what happened there? He said pound the bottom. He's going to run.
Yeah. Oranges, stuff like that. And of course, you gotta love Fire Tiger. That's always a Fire Tiger chartreuse is always kind of a.
You know, that's a Devil's Lake.
Standby.
Yeah, whether it's summer or winter at Devil's Lake, that Fire Tiger's the thing. Nope, there he's back. Didn't scare him that bad, I guess. Billy Smith. You ready for some burb, Billy? Stay tuned the end of February. We got something really special for you with Billy. Something you've never seen before with Billy. Billy doesn't even know what I'm talking about. So Billy owns a guide service in it's by Winnie. I'm going to screw up the name because it's really long. Northern Minnesota Backcountry Guide Service, Billy. Check him out. Burbot Slayer, if you like burbot. He's your guy. And I did see he was on some crappies the other day too, so. Northern Minnesota Adventures Backwater Guide Service, that's what it is. He's going to text me in a minute and tell me I screwed that up, I bet. But you can click on his link in the comments and it'll take you right to it. Oh, Brian says flyer is the ticket. Andy, using a minnow head. I was using a full minnow, then I saw Garrett catch a couple, so I switched over to the minnow head immediately.
Ooh, got one back again, sniffing.
Well, I'm not paying it. You know, every time I look away, every time. It's funny, I'll do these lives and then I'll go through the comments and about 24 of you are yelling at me in the comments telling me to look at the screen because there's a fish on there that I missed. I'm just going to check my minnow to make sure we're good here real quick. Yep. Once again, that's what I got going. Pink, perch talker, minnow head. Need more TVs, Dan. See what I can do for the next one for you, Dan. Dan, shouldn't you be working? Lunch is over. Oh, Billy says he was out last night. There's one for Dustin if you're in the Brainerd's Lakes area. Tungsten is his go-to. He likes to pound the bottom with tungsten. You owe it to yourself. I'm going to say it again. You owe it to yourself to check out his Facebook. The amount of fish pictures he posts is absurd. And he is one of our Lindy Pro staff guys. We got him, and then over there we also have Reed Utalo in that same area. I did see that. I think Reed was hammering the crappies the other day pretty good too. So Reed Utalo and Dustin Munson, check those two guys out if you're looking for a guide in that area. Billy's already predicting it. It's going to be good for burbot, Billy says. I will be there, Billy. I will be there. And I'm spending the night on the ice this time. I am not driving home at 3 a.m. That's a mistake. So we'll be out there for a couple days with you this year, Billy. We're really going to do it up out there. I'm going to go through these comments, see if you got anything else. I'm going to be sending out some perch talkers or walleye talkers of your choice. I'll probably pick like 5 people out of the comments. Watch your messages after I'm done here. I will message you and tell you who I am sending them to. Something up high there. We'll jig that just for the fun of it, but that hasn't been panning out at all today. Nope. You can just hear the wind ripping out there too. All right, we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. Any more questions, throw them out there. Once again, we're fishing with Mark's Bry Service. Mark Bry, also owns Ed's Bait Shop. Check that out if you're in Devil's Lake and you need bait. There's also a fish cleaning house right next to Ed's Bait Shop. So, is there food there too at Ed's Bait Shop on the bar side?
Pizza, and we also do catch and cook. We're one of the few places on the lake that does that. So, bring in your catch and we'll cook it up for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually saw your sign out there this morning when I was walking in. Is that the only place that does it on Devils? Is Ed's that I know of? Yeah.
It might be.
Huh. Yeah. So like you said, Ed's Bait Shop does catch and cook. So bring your fish in and they'll cook them for you. That's awesome. I didn't know they did that.
Pretty new. That's just this fall or this summer. I think we got that figured out. So.
So that's sweet actually. What's up, Brian? Brian, will the perch talker work for crappie? Absolutely it will, Brian. For sure it will. And when you are fishing crappie, you do want to throw the whole tackle box at them because they like to sight feed and they really pay attention to what you're doing. Even with plastics, you got to have a lot of plastics with you to dial in what those crappies want. But I would not be afraid to fish a perch talker for crappies ever. They will definitely bite it. Greg, Go-To Baits. Like he was just saying, spoons have been doing really good out here the last couple years on perch. So quiver spoon, rattling flyer spoon, perch talker are all good. I'd use the 16th ounce, the smaller sizes of them. Like we were saying before, fire tiger, chartreuses, oranges, stuff like that are super good colors out here on devils. Got all the suspects on here now. Hey John, how you doing? All right, if we don't get one in the next couple minutes here, I am going to log off. Like I always say, if you have any questions after these lives, if you're out fishing, anything like that, and you got any questions, go ahead and shoot me a DM. I did see on there somebody was mentioning that Swift Ditch Road up at Lake of the Woods. I will be. I want to do something up in that area. The fishing on Lake of the Woods right now is on fire, so go to Lake of the Woods right now. It is very, very, very good, the fishing. But I do want to do something. Maybe I'll give Ross Swenson a call. We'll do something with Ross out there. We'll just go out on, maybe we'll just take my truck out on Swift Ditch Road and we'll just kind of show you the whole setup and how it works, whatever you guys want. If you have any ideas of stuff you want me to do, go ahead and message me as well. I'm always open to ideas if you guys have anything you'd like to see, or maybe there's a lodge you want to check out. I can check it out for you. Let you know what I think. If you got any ideas, throw them out there. I'm up for anything. Greg's heading to Devils next. Are you heading to Devils next week, Greg, or are you headed to Lake of the Woods? Yeah, there's Tim there. Just got back from Lake of the Woods, pounded him. I bet you did. Go hit up Fort Peck, Jesse. Jesse, scroll back on the lives. I had my boat on Fort Peck. I don't know if it was last summer. It was summer before last. If you scroll on the Lindy Facebook, go on the Facebook page. I don't think it's on YouTube, but go on the Facebook page and click on videos and then scroll through until you get to the live we did on Fort Peck. We caught a bunch of lake trout in the boat during the live. I explained how to do Fort Peck, what I'm using, everything like that. It is a phenomenal fishery. Phenomenal fishery. Yeah, the summer before last we did that one on Fort Peck, and that one was out of the boat. I haven't been there ice fishing yet, but it is an option that I may do. Ryan says the roads are getting icy. Yeah, anywhere I drive, anywhere the roads get icy. Always. All right, any more questions, throw them down now. I'm going to log off here in a second. Anybody that's commented is, oh, there we got one. He's moving. And he's gone. He's still there. I know he is. Like I was saying, anybody that's commented is, I like that one too. Right there. Perfectly vertical. He's going to hit. I'm going to stay live here for a minute. I'm going to get this one. I'll be very subtle with him. Not even looking at it. Fish, my lure. Just finicky. It's crazy to me how these perch on devils now are just right on the bottom like that when they come in. Looking at Garrett's now. Yeah, usually when they turn vertical like that, you got a good shot at them, but they're just looking at it today. Yes, there is. There definitely is rental options on Devil's Lake. Lots of rental options for houses to rent. Is he gone? Yeah.
I haven't seen him.
Tim, how about those perch on Lake of the Woods? Yeah, they're, you know, that we were just talking about that, how they're built totally different. These perch on Devils, I'll pull that perch out, this big one out again here. These perch on Devils are fat perch, really, really fat perch. The perch on Lake of the Woods are much more slender. Like, look at the belly on that thing. The perch on Lake of the Woods are slender, but they're long. I mean, you can get 14, 15-inch perch on Lake of the Woods. What was your longest perch when you were out there, Tim? I'm imagining you got at least a 13 or a 14, I'd imagine. They got really good size to them. All right, we are going to log off here. Just going to check the comments one more time. Like I said, you commented, you're entered for some free perch talkers. Yeah, there you go right there, Tim, 14.5-inch perch. Lake of the Woods perch are long, really, really, really long. If you go on the Lenny Facebook page and scroll down a little bit, you see a perch I caught, a 14-incher that I posted on there, and you can kind of see the build of them compared to the Devil's Lake perch. A little bit of genetics, and probably a lot of it has to do with the forage base as to why the Devil's Lake perch are built like this. All right, I'm going to log off. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you have any questions when you're on the ice or any questions anytime, DM me on my personal Facebook page. There it is right there. I will answer any questions you guys might have. So go ahead, if you're on the ice at home, even if I'm not live, feel free to shoot me questions. I have no problem answering any of them. So I think, oh, every time. Coming to my side? Yeah.
Your side.
All right, hang on here. That one's glued. Can I get him to come up? Yep.
Oh, we've got a buddy.
Oh, two. We got two. So you got one there and then one here. Swimming by. I'm expecting once we get towards the end of the day, every one of the... Oh, there one. Oh. Oof. Gone. That one's gone too. Oh, come back. Right on it. I will tell you with the live scope, once the fish comes in, I like to look away from the live scope and pay attention to my rod, because I've seen a lot of guys, the fish will lunge at your lure on the live scope and they'll visually set their hook. Right, Ryan? Sorry. But yes, I've seen a lot of guys set before the fish even touches it just because they're looking at live scope. So I do like to pay attention to what I'm doing once the fish is on my lure. He's just hanging there too. So we're definitely in the right area. It's just a matter of them turning on for us. Just hanging out looking. And I can guarantee you that within 2 minutes after I log off this live, I'll catch a big jumbo, because that's how it works every single time I do this. Still down there hanging on the bottom. You can see fish there, lure there. There we go. Just super subtle with it. See if we can get him to... You can still see just a little bit of separation. So he's not completely on it like he's going to eat it. Wendell, Bobby Garland Plastics. Check out Bobby Garland Plastics. They make everything under the sun, every color, everything. Phenomenal plastics for panfish. If I'm going to do walleye plastics, I'm going to probably use Yum. The Yum Swim and Dinger is my favorite walleye plastic. Brett, 10 likes and... What's the record, Brett? What's the record for Nick Linder? What's his longest live? Is it like 7 hours or something ridiculous? I don't know that I'm that guy. He was on for so long. You know, props to Nick for that. I mean, wow, that's really something. It's like I'm at work and he's live, and then I go home and he's live, and I'm eating supper and he's live, and I'm going to bed and he's live, and he's just wow. Props to you, Nick. I mean, maybe that's a thing. Maybe we set up on Lake of the Woods and try to beat Nick's record. I don't know that I could do it. That's a long live feed. Yeah, I don't know how he does it either. I have a lot of respect for being live that long. That's really something. I mean, he's like eating burritos and just doing his thing. It's amazing. If you get a chance, definitely check him out. No, Brian, I haven't fished Big Stone, but I would like to fish Big Stone. I think that Big Stone, that's just a cool area. Eat burritos. Yeah, next time I'm definitely going to warm up a burrito, for sure. There's another one. Is he creeping away, huh?
Going away.
Yeah. All right, we're out of here. Sorry, Brett. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate all the comments. If you have any questions after this, like I always say, go ahead and shoot, and I'll answer everything I can. Yes, he also eats unsalted peanuts and everything else under the sun. And he has his dog in there with him, and it's unbelievable, yeah. He's busy in there. Keeps himself busy.